By creating your own dopamine, you could stop being lazy and start taking action. Here's how you can do it. So, humans have evolved to have two types of motivation: away from pain and towards pleasure. When you're away from pain, you're just trying to avoid pain, obviously, self explanatory. And if you're moving towards pleasure, same thing. So, if you're growing up and you had a lot of pain and there's a lot of negativity, you're going to be wired, and just the ego has a natural tendency to go this way, to focus on the avoiding pain because it's even better for survival. Because, like, if you make a negative move and you're in a place where survival is paramount, like you hear rustling in the bushes, then it could be food, but it also could be a lion or a tiger. So then there's a lot of risk. So then you naturally want to avoid pain. But also, there's towards pleasure. If it is food, then you just get one meal. The upside is obviously you need it for survival, but it's it does not outweigh the downside of dying. So the ego naturally likes to focus on the negativity. But we also know that if we want to create anything or do anything, we need to take action. So what happens when we have action that can also create fear, rejection, which it almost always does, and it can cause a certain level of pain? Well, we need to start to focus on the pleasure. So let's say you want to start a business, but you don't want to make content because you think, for whatever reason, you think people are going to laugh at you for trying or whatever, or people just think they don't believe in you and you're leaving the status quo, and anyways, you get the point. So then what makes us be able to go through that pain and get to the other side of the things that we want? And it's the pleasure. So then the solution here is to actually start to emotionalize the pleasure. So you're going to start a business. Why do you want to start the business? Because I want to go on vacation, I want to party, I want to, start a family and support kids. So, okay, what does that feel like? Oh man, I feel super fulfilled. It feels great. Like, picture yourself there. Now you're creating a positive anchor, which is creating dopamine and it's pulling you. There's a quote, it's like, with a strong enough why, anyhow is possible. This falls perfectly into that quote. So, the more you focus on what it is, how you feel, and like the pleasure that you're going to receive, the less you're focused on the pain, and the more pain you're willing to push through, and the more failure you're willing to push through because of that pleasure that you're creating in your mind. Now, for some of us, this pain will be way too much, or we might even feel guilty or ashamed because we feel like this is the identity that we had our whole life. It was given to us, and anytime we step out of that, we feel a lot of fear, shame, guilt, things of that nature. So then, no matter how much you focus on the pleasure, the pain is always going to be there to stop you, which is essentially limiting beliefs and negative identity. Which dissolving that is kind of what this whole channel is about. And yeah, and if you want to personalized help, I do coaching, so you could leave a comment and I'll reach out to you, or DM me on Instagram with the same Hattie she or Hattie C, and we can help you out there. Now, as far as getting rid of that negative identity, you have to dissolve this through negation. So, what does that mean? It means if you're feeling shame or guilt or fear, you need to deal with the underlying premise of what's driving that by deleting that identity and deleting the belief that's tied to it. As a consequence of deleting the belief, it will no longer bother you. A lot of people make the mistakes of just trying to add, which is just a poor strategy. I mean, it has good intent, but it just doesn't work based off my personal experience, and I've tried it a lot, and a lot of the people I've worked with has tried it. They've tried therapy, they've tried all these things, and negation is the only thing that worked for them. It's the only thing that worked for me. It's really the only thing that I know that really works, and I've looked for solutions for about like 10 years. So that, as far as I could tell, is the best way to do it, is through negating it. Once you negate the things that are holding you back, then you could start to create the positive anchors and the pleasure driven behaviors that are going to get you the things you want. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.